Thank you guys for showing up today in the rain. I have seen this a couple of times now. The rain does not stop us, right?
No.
So we weather the storm. We show up for the storms. Listen, we're together in the storms, right? So I really just want to send a message. I've been saying it over and over again. I'm going to continue saying it. We need to start paying attention, okay? We know what we see on the news. We get the information from, our sources that we deem credible, but we don't know what we don't know. So we have to focus on the things we do know. We know our neighbors. We know our towns, but we need to get to know the people who are making the decisions within those towns, okay? So if you haven't ever been to a board meeting or a county meeting or a town meeting, city meeting, I don't care if it's a school board meeting, I encourage you to go. If you've been but you know somebody who hasn't, take them with you. They're not exciting, okay? I can guarantee you they're not. So sometimes they are, I guess. I've gone to a couple of exciting ones. I guess it depends on what you're doing at these things, but most of the time they can be pretty darn boring. But you get to meet people, okay? You don't meet people on Facebook the same way you meet people in real life, right? Like, you get a different version. Even if you meet me on Facebook, you don't really know me until you meet me, right? So, and you go to these meetings, I guarantee you'll meet at least one person you've never talked to before. And they're going to tell you something that you've never thought of before. And you're going to connect. And then you're going to maybe have a conversation. And maybe you're going to have an idea. And maybe you'll start a revolution.
There you go.
Woo! Because that's what we need to start doing. So when you go to town hall meetings and you're looking at people who are running, right? We have a couple of elections coming up in the next year. We have some time to figure out who our candidates really are. They can't be afraid of questions, first and foremost. We don't want candidates afraid of questions. None of us are perfect. I said this time and time again. None of us are perfect. We have all said things we wouldn't want somebody to whip out and go, you said 10 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Yup, I did. You got to own it. So we want candidates who own their mistakes, first and foremost. Because what? We hate that Trump can't, right? Like, he doesn't own any mistakes. And it makes us hate him more. Because it's like, just say one thing, And so we want people to be human and admit the things that they did that were maybe wrong. Because we need to show grace as human beings to those people. But then they need to be willing to have bravery to do and say the right thing. Not the thing for the job, but the thing that is going to be for the person who needs it the most. Because it's not about me. I am a white, straight lady, okay? It is about my friends who are gay, my brown friends, my black friends, my Canadian friends, my disabled friends. That is who I am showing up for, because it is not the things that necessarily might impact me. But if I don't have a neighbor through the storm, where the hell will I be? I don't have a neighbor through the storm, where the hell will I be? So hold the umbrella for the person who needs it the most. And I don't care if you don't get Joe Blow's vote from Kokomo because he thinks that, you're not conservative enough. It's not about that anymore. It's about what's right. And it should have never been about our rights as women or as the queer community or as disabled people just trying to get resources paid for by insurance. It should have never been about that. Politics should have been, how can we make our country stronger, not how can we tear each other apart.
Yep.
So as soon as we play into that playbook, as soon as our candidates start playing into that playbook, they've lost me. And they should lose you too. They should say, I stand for all people's rights. Moving forward, this is what I'm going to do to make our community stronger. Because this is not a conversation to debate about. It's not a debatable conversation anymore. Stop playing into it. People can sleep with who they want to sleep with. They can dress how they want. They can live here if they don't have somewhere safe to live. We are all on a floating marble in space. And we were all blessed to be born in America, but none of us know what happens after we leave this world. And if we come back and God forbid we are in a different place, we could only hope that we have a country that will open their arms and accept us in it with our children for a life, because we all deserve a life We all deserve a life. So I want you guys to pay attention, and that is my segue into introducing you to somebody who I have just had the pleasure of meeting, honestly, in Plattsburgh earlier today. He is somebody who was one of the finalists for the special election. Are you all familiar with the special election for New York District 21?
Yes.
Okay, so it's an odd election, right? County chairs interview people. They make a very quick decision. You don't really get to know all of your options. We didn't get to know really all of our options because we're not part of that process. We see what we see on social media, but we're not sitting and interviewing the candidates. So we have some time to hear our options. And I know some of you or most of you have heard Blake Gendamine, as I have. However, we do have Dylan Hewitt here, who needs to be heard with the same respect as somebody who, if anyone went to the Chateauguay Park event, you heard me say, anyone willing to run right now for Congress is a soldier in a war, and they need to be prepared for battle. So if you hear a candidate speak and they seem like they're not ready to suit up, maybe you need to see who else is ready for that. So I am going to introduce you to Dylan Hewitt. You want to come up, Dylan?
Yeah.